Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another spiritualistic pick a card reading. Thank you so much for being here today as I channel a message to you from the wood snake. So please take a deep breath, drawing the energy up your spine, creating a clear and open channel. And as you exhale, come into clear knowing which group or groups has your message in it for you today. We have group number 1 on the left with eyes like a hawk. Group number 2 in the center with rooted in gratitude. And group number 3 on the right with divinely guided. As always, the timestamps to your readings are listed below in the description box. You'll also be able to find my spiritual store on there as well. It's on Etsy at Spiritualistic, or you can click the link. There you'll be able to find my tarot and oracle decks I've made, my published books, journals, guided and unguided, as well as my one-on-one sessions when they are available again. As always, I love you and I'm grateful for you, and I will see you over at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, Group 1. Namaste and welcome to your reading. Today, I have a message to you from Wood Snake, and you selected the first group with the eyes like a hawk card. Now, getting right into it, it seems as though you have been pretty locked in, but on several different things recently. You've been crossing T's and dotting I's, and like a snake shedding your skin. Now, there does seem to be this energy where you've been working on your heart space, and we do also have body awareness coming through as well. So Wood Snake wants to encourage you to continue to grow when it comes to your physical and energetic health. So whether this is you eating healthier, whether this is you following a circadian rhythm, changing your sleep schedule, exercising more, doing some energy work, whatever it is, Wood Snake would like to encourage you in this, as well as to remind you to connect with your spirituality with the Soul Star Light Code coming up here. It seems as though there is a connection here between your spiritual self and your physical body that wants to come up. Now, the element of wood with the wood snake that's coming through here is very much talking about the spiritual attributes of earth. So this is earth spirit. It is not just earth element. Wood in and of itself is premonition. And the snake here is also the symbol of Kundalini. It is a symbol of spiritual enlightenment, and it also can be a symbol of fear or terrorism. However, it is because people fear evolution. It is because of the fear of shedding the skin, the old breaking for the new. And so we have here that not only are you on the right path, but Wood Snake wants to come through and let you know to continue to refine your body in ways that allow you to support your spiritual evolution as well. There are going to be some things from your old life, I'm hearing, that are going to be materializing for you quite soon. And the Wood Snake is going to support your physical completion of cycles that you finished spiritually, and spiritual completion of things that you might have finished in the material realm. So any stragglers, material or spiritual, they're going to be tying up those loose ends. Wood Snake also wants you to know that the things coming in your life are going to be non-predatory for you. So if you have, if you have some things in your life that are coming together and you're wondering if they're in your best interest or not, why is something old coming in, you're going to notice that this is for your progression. Wood Snake does want to remind you that what you believe does come true, and that you do have a heightened awareness, but this is the year that you come into even further heightened awareness. Now, you might have certain spiritual paradigms, or let's just say flavors of spirituality that you follow, and these are going to be expanded upon, evolved, expanded, and renewed as well. So with this, there is an element letting you know that yes, you are going to come into material and spiritual abundance this year. The Wood Snake is going to bring in a lot of abundance for you and prosperity. However, do expect new themes coming up in common contexts, however, exploring new themes with those familiar contexts. Also, do expect to have some of your current beliefs breaking down a little bit. There is a message here that you're going to need to unlearn some of these things that you have believed for a while so that you can evolve in consciousness. Just as you can plug into higher vibrational grids, just as you can learn more, you evolve more, the higher perspective that you have, a little bit different perspectives you have on things below. So you're going to need to let go of certain beliefs, you're going to need to unlearn so that you can relearn from a higher perspective. This is normal, just like when you outgrow your skin and you shed The bigger version of you now fits into the shiny skin, but you're going to need to let go of the old. So there are going to be some things here that come in for you to let go of, but it's only because you've already progressed out of them. Think of it like you outgrowing a space. You're going from being a big fish in a small pond to a medium-sized fish in the large, abundant ocean. And yes, this year will be abundant for you. Wood Snake does want to let you know that you are going to be having stronger clairvoyance this year. You're going to be having stronger premonitions as well. And you're also going to be finding yourself having more of a positive outlook on life as some, again, loose ends tie together for you. You're going to understand why you went through certain journeys, why certain things, events, behaviors were in your best interest. You're also going to come to a place of deepening faith, deepening that trust. I'm hearing that song, Spirit Lead Me Where My Trust Is Without Borders, that trust in spirit being borderless. Basically, there's also this energy of healing, connection with the divine. There's an energy of creation as well, a little bit of music. There's something like whale songs or dolphin sounds or sound healing that's coming through as well. Some of you might be playing something like the harp, the flute, something that is spiritual. You might be working with sound healing or affirmations as well. It's coming through. This is going to bring you into heightened awareness, connecting more deeply with the energy and the vibration of things than the elusive material representation of whatever that is appearing before your eyes, before your physical senses. This is a deeper connection with not only spirit, but your spiritual gifts. You're going to be finding that everything feels a little more sacred to you. The wood snake is also one to come through and remind you that your spiritual work and development that you have been going through is going to be coming through into your physical life more strongly, meaning that your spiritual practices are going to become a little more devoted, a little bit more public. You're going to be expressing them a little bit more, or you're going to find that they infiltrate your physical life in a beautiful and abundant way as well. The way that you express yourself is going to become not only more spiritual, but also more based, more centered, more balanced, and it's also going to be more firm, not strict, but firm. Wood snake for you, group number 1, is the signal of a glow up for you, not only in your spirituality, but in your abundance. Now, your focus is not on the material world. Currently, your focus is on spiritual development, and this will be what brings you to abundance in the material realm. Although this is not your destination, it is simply a marker along the path that you are on. You're going to find that the world becomes a bit more spiritual, it becomes a bit more colorful, a bit more magical, a little bit more crystallized for you this year. Not necessarily crystallized in a permanent way, but crystallized in a light being refracted kind of way, in a beautiful way. So, with this, you're going to find that you are, with the body awareness card, the blue one on the left here, you are progressing physically. Your physical body becomes stronger, it becomes healthier. There's also an energy of having better balance, whether it's better balance in your yoga practice, your qigong practice, whether it's better balance between your work and home life, whether it's better balance in your specific life, in your breathing, in your schedule. Better balance is coming through here. There's also this balance between the left brain and the right brain coming through as well, meaning that you're going to find yourself, if you've been very leaning into your schedule recently, you're going to find yourself opening up more into creative avenues. If you've been really, really creative, you're going to find that you kind of come a little bit more into an organization energy just to find that balanced center. This is going to be a moment for you where the spiritual becomes more visible for you. Again, emphasizing that clairvoyance, those premonitions, those clairvoyant energies that you see and you feel when your eyes are open. So not just your dream realm, not just spiritual phenomena you have when you meditate, not just those things you can sense if you close your eyes, you close your ears, and you tap in, but actually when your eyes are open, you're going to be seeing more. But it's going to be a reflection of true truth, a reflection of consciousness, a reflection of heightened awareness, not just a reflection of you. It's not going to be what is exuded from the material. It's going to be the spiritual that is holding that physical. So it's a different perspective. It's from the outside in instead of the inside out, because you've been doing a lot of that work from the inside out and you've been seeing a lot of what's on the inside out. You do have eyes like a hawk, meaning your vision for how this year is going to be transitional for you has been a precise vision that's been gifted to you before. This year is going to act like a portal for you. The wood snake energy for you is, regardless of what year or what month you are listening to this, is a guardian for you coming through to let you know that you are stepping into a transformational portal, spiritually and physically. Your body becomes like the calm Taoist warrior, one who is in balance, one who is in spirit, one who needs to simply set an intention and can move mountains. So, with this energy coming forward, you are going to be progressing. Things are going to be looking more magical, happier, more positive for you, and you are stepping into abundance. However, it is this detachment from the material realm that allows you to see the magic and beauty within it. So Wood Snake does have another message for you. I'm going to get into the tarot here. Wood Snake would like for you to take a last look at the things around you that you've been thinking about walking away from lately. There is a reason why the things in your life are where they are. There are certain things you have surrendered to and certain things that you are sure need to go a different way. Wood Snake would like for you to simply reflect non-judgmentally upon these things in your life and try to have an opposite perspective. Try to learn from this and see how everything in your life is in some way a portal to your own personal happiness and spiritual fulfillment and growth. So the things in your life that you feel should not be there, well, they're there and they help you be happier. Wood Snake would like for you to continue to lean into your curiosity in a structured way, meaning do pick up that language again, do read that book, do take notes and study that one thing on the side, do practice your crocheting, whatever it is for you. Wood Snake does want you to slowly and steadily let yourself learn a little bit and just progress in different areas. Not to fully commit yourself to one new thing and all of a sudden obsess over crocheting until you're amazing at it. And once you've mastered it, then go back into balance with your whole life. Maintain that balance, maintain that center, step out and work on that craft a little. Read that book a little bit. Read one more page, learn it, chew on it for a little bit, and then come back later. Take your time. True progression and true mastery take time. Wood Snake waits for the perfect time to strike. Wood Snake is also very ancient. Wood Snake allows you to float, and it also does really, really well with the element of water, believe it or not. So this is saying that this is going to be a wonderful time for you to connect with your emotions and to see what is really there. Some of the things in your life that you are committed to walking away from or to leaving behind might have less to do with the way that you feel about them and more to do with what you think you are supposed to be doing. Wood Snake asks you to connect with your inner spirit a bit more. Wood Snake asks you to disconnect from your physical ego, to be open to learning through means of unlearning, and to follow your emotional fulfillment, even if that means making some plot twists that are your own decision that surprise even you. Wood Snake is aware that you fear being bitten by something and wants to let you know that this chapter is over. You are going to have travel opportunities that might seem too good to be true. Wood Snake does want to let you know that you are going to be receiving opportunities for you to thrive and that you deserve to enjoy them. So do not give yourself a difficult time mentally just because you have not finished learning how something is in your best interest or how it actually is the abundant direction for you to take. There is definitely an energy here of going against the group logic in order to follow your passion. Wood Snake would like for you to continue to step in this direction and trust that you will be met with those who are able to understand you and speak your language. Do continue to move, grow, and evolve. And when you find that your old skin is shedding, this is when you slither forward. And no matter how many emotions you feel, no matter how many intuitive downloads you feel, no matter how in the water you feel that you are, no matter how much it has recently rained, wood floats. And group 1, you do as well. Group number 1, this is your channeled message from Wood Snake. I hope this helped shed love, light, and clarity for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe as it helps me and the community out a lot. If you're interested in any of the decks used in today's reading, I use my Follow Your Heart Oracle, my Light Codes Oracle, my Mini Oracle, and my Graphic Tarot. You can find those on my Etsy store, linked in the description box below as well. If you would like exclusive content, I post on my Inner Circle channel on YouTube here every Wednesday, and my Patreon every Thursday. You can also find me on TikTok, on Instagram, on Zhao Hongshu, and With all of that being said, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. I love you and I'm grateful for you. Feel free to check out another reading, and I will see you next time. Namaste. Hey Group 2, Namaste and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from Wood Snake, and you selected the second group with the Rooted in Gratitude card. Group number 2. Getting right into it, I am getting here that you are in a growing stage and you are being called to, yes, be grateful for where you are because it is where you once wanted to be, and also to be grateful for what is impending for you because it is also where you want to be now. Where you are is where you once wanted, and where you're going is where you also want to be now. So be grateful for the journey because, well, you will not have everything that you have now in the future, and in the future you have many things that you want now that you lack currently or perceive yourself to lack. That's a big one. I'm hearing the principle that everything is always evolving into its opposite. So there is definitely this energy here of a growing stage, but you're growing upwards and outwards, not to worry. You are very firmly anchored in gratitude, and if you feel a little bit off balance, this is letting you know that you're being called into gratitude a little bit more. Gratitude will draw this energy into your consciousness. It will help you evolve. Wood Snake wants you to know that you are a wonderful critical thinker and problem solver, and that this is going to be a time for you to really hone in on your focus. So we do have the energies here coming out for you with the light codes of the Earth Star chakra and the idea of fate versus destiny. What is meant for you versus what you create alongside the universe. And also, just to reflect quickly with this critical thinking idea, the problem solving idea, this focus, what is your personal belief system or philosophy around fate and destiny? Fate is what is written for you. Destiny is what it is that is a consequence of your own actions, the belief that we are co-creators. They're not necessarily the same thing. Where do you stand pertaining to each of these energies? Again, with the Earth Star chakra, this is the chakra that is below the root chakra. So actually, this is your rooted energy, and we see here that you're rooted in gratitude. Wood Snake wants you to connect with the psychic sense that's connected to your liver. This is your foresight. It is actually your ability to predict the future. It is connected to your liver organ or the liver system. So this is also something that's helpful with decision-making ability. So this is connected to your liver. It's connected to your gallbladder. It's also connected to maybe judgment that you might have, compulsivity, anywhere you might be feeling a little bit of any bit of rigidness, and also a connection with the wind element or the earth or the air element, where you're feeling very windy, or you're feeling very maybe dry, or you feel like you really need fresh air. Your connection to fresh air is coming through as well. And so with this rooted in gratitude and the Earth Star chakra, this is saying to get out and connect with fresh air, feel the wind, taste the wind, breathe the wind, connect with the spirit of the wind. Wood Snake wants you to know that yes, with your critical thinking, your intellect, you are great at allowing yourself to put one foot in front of the other and make critical decisions. But this with the fate versus destiny card is letting you know as well that you do have a choice to make, or you do have some sort of a crossroads that you can take. So not just the critical thinking, but actually feeling the change in the wind, allowing yourself to believe, well, do you think that one is really more meant for you, one decision, or do you think that another decision is maybe something that could be meant for you? At the end of the day, it is what you make of it, regardless of what your belief is around this, because ultimately it is your belief that formulates what it is you're going to experience. So if to you it is unavoidable, that can be the case. And if to you it's a result of your own choices, that also can be the case. So you are being called to take a look at the things or the energies that make you feel either depleted, and alternatively youthful and energized. So you are being called to keep yourself around good influences, or remember to be a good influence around others. And Wood Snake also wants you to remember that you are called to connect with the earth deeply, connect with the roots of the trees, connect with the core of the earth, connect with the system of mycelium underneath the ground. And also, do you think that the roots connect to each other under the trees because they've chosen to do so? Or do you think it was always meant to be in that particular pattern? Is it fated or is it destined? Do you think those things are synonyms? If you think they are, this is evolving into the opposite. And if you think that they're two separate things, this might be evolving into one belief. So taking a look at this, wood snake for you has a lot to do with growth, but we have grow like a plant, we have earth star chakra, we have rooted in gratitude, we have a lot of this energy of you taking a look at your future, but almost using kind of a stoic eye towards it, using your critical thinking abilities, your decision-making abilities. And wood snake would like you to be aware that the way that you grow, the way that you blossom, the steps that you take is something that you're going to be considering or reconsidering the process of itself. Is it that you're manifesting something? Is it that one action creates a ripple effect? Is it that no matter what you do or how you act, everything is the will of source because we're all source incarnate? What is your belief? Something is going to be evolving into its opposite. No things stagnate in the energetic realm. So, emotional awareness here, it's a big one. How do you feel? What are the emotions connected to those beliefs of yours and your spiritual and psychic visions as well? If you are shown something that you perceive to be negative or positive, how does that emotionally affect you? And trust that the messages that you receive, the options that you receive, they all come in aligned timing. All things are inevitably connected, and they all do come back to part of one whole. All things are part of one whole, and we have removed yourself. So, with this, wood snake would like to remind you that as you evolve spiritually, remember that you are just as part of that root system, those mycelium, that core of the earth, as you are spirit, oneness, consciousness, and that energy of the pathway that they connect through, or the illusion that they connect through, well, this is your role in this world. So, you are being called to, again, allow yourself to, yes, go with the flow, and to see where your co-creation aspects of your life or of your belief might unfold and evolve into one another. The things that you create yourself, you have spirit's help on certain things and you take the reins on others, those things, surrender to spirit, explore that feeling. And what emotions are connected to that? Is it worry? Is it anger? Is it stress? Is it excitement? Is it longevity? Is it youthfulness? Is it depleted? Feel the emotions, feel the energy there, and connect with your liver and gallbladder as well, energetically, and check in with them. Also, the things that you have been surrendering to the divine, you're going to find that these things are a little bit more in your control. And it's going to challenge your idea of what is your responsibility and what is not, a little bit. Wood snake wants to let you know that this is to evolve you, and it's also to involve you in some processes that you think are untouchable to you. So for some of you, these are going to be things that are very, very spiritual, like fate, destiny, writing things in the stars, prophecies, and things like this. For others of you, it's going to be very grounded, very rooted. So it's going to be flipping the table from wherever your current standpoint has been for a while. So it might connect for some of you, like the clothes that you wear, the words that you use, the money in your bank account, the house that you live in, things like this. If you have a green thumb, you might be finding yourself not necessarily using as much different types of soil and tips and tricks like this, but you might be finding yourself giving Reiki to your plants. If you're an energetic practitioner and you find that, well, you have wonderful energy to your plants, you talk to them every day, you give them love and light and Reiki, all these things, but they're not necessarily thriving, you're going to find, oh, my orchid needs 1/4 cup of water 1 time a week, and it needs a specific temperature and humidity requirement. So, kind of bridging that gap there and evolving one thing into another. Wood snake does want you to remove yourself from, again, your current, whatever it is that is I'm hearing heliocentrism. Okay, so whatever it is that is actually the center of your life at this point in time. For some of you, it's your spirituality. For some of you, it's your work. For some of you, it's your love life. For some of you, it is your family. Whatever it is that your life has been kind of rotating around recently over the past few years, remove yourself from this. I'm being shown when Galileo actually rejected heliocentrism, even though he knew it to be true, he discovered it. Heliocentrism, for those of you who don't know the word, it's just the idea that the planets, the Earth revolves around the sun and not the other way around. So Galilei is the one who discovered heliocentrism let's just say in that era, right? And actually, because it was not supported by common belief, he kind of backed out of it and was like, oh, that, haha, no, just kidding. I don't actually believe that, but he kept it in his writings. Come to find out, well, it was proven, it was supported, he was right all along, but he backed down on what he discovered, what he knew to be true, because it wasn't the popular belief. So there's something like this coming through for you as well that Wood Snake would like for you to consider. So there's something that you have been centering your life around that you're being called to remove yourself out of so that you're no longer a slave to it. Because there's something that has been out of your control that now is going to be in your control when you remove yourself. And alternatively, there's something that's been in your control for a long time that might feel like it's been growing wild branches. It's been growing all over the place. It's been having fun. It's been getting creative with its growth, and maybe it's outgrowing its pot a bit. So you are asked to take a look at your idea again of what is meant for you and what you can create, this idea of fate and destiny as two separate things, and explore your beliefs on them. Not saying that you need to change what you think, but simply to take a look at where you have been lately and open your mind to explore other possibilities in these areas. Again, with the idea in mind, just open to everything evolves into its opposite. They're very much the idea of every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and energy is never fully stagnant, so it is always moving and changing. So messages, please, to group number 2 from Wood Snake. Okay, I'm hearing do not take every prophecy at face value. Again, this idea of fate versus destiny, and see what emotions it brings up in you. Things might serve you in different ways than you might currently be open to exploring. Wood Snake would like to let you know that you are dipping your toe into the world of emotions in a certain way, and that by spending time alone, you are able to refine and hone into your spirituality and your spiritual gifts as well. There's definitely something here that can only be refined or cultivated in your time alone. So do make sure that you are, especially over the course of the next year, whenever it is that you are saying this, regardless of the year or the month, make sure that you are taking time to yourself specifically. Whether this is time in silence, whether it's time in isolation, in solitude, in meditation, things like turning off your phone, not watching something, not listening to music, simply existing. You're going to find that things begin to move very quickly for you. And when they do, it's going to be in areas where you have been a little bit, maybe still. Areas that have not been in your control are going to start to move, and they're going to be showing you things you can do, and it's going to happen fast. Again, things that have not been in your control, or things that have been in your control, they're going to start to move and grow out of this direction. So Wood Snake wants you to be open to devoting yourself to something new. Be open to something or someone new. And with this being the case, you're being called to remain centered, remain balanced, not worry about the outcome, and allow your inner child to lead the way a little bit more. There's an energy of your expression turning a little bit more prophetic, like a prophecy, than it has been in the past. Because as you connect more with the infinite, you're going to have a different understanding with the tower here of what it is that is spirit showing you truth versus the energy that is you, that is around you, that is within you, showing you what you need to experience in order to grow and evolve. And also, again, honoring the fact that both things are constantly turning into one another. So being open to that evolution, being open to that paradox energy, being open to those different dynamics. If you say something is hot and you know it's hot, you believe it to be hot, it's always been hot, allow yourself to explore the cold and the other way around. Whatever it is that has been central to your life, whatever it is that your life has been revolving around for a while, step back, step out of it. Connect with inside the earth, not just the earth or the spirit of the earth. Allow yourself to be spirit incarnate instead of detaching, ungrounding, floating out into ether. Allow these two things to have a pipeline into one another. Do stay rooted in gratitude. And Wood Snake does want to let you know that many things are going to be shifting up this year for you. They're going to be shaking up. They're going to get a little bit confusing, a little bit exciting, a little bit different, and it's all going to happen quickly. The best thing you can possibly do is make sure that you are taking time in stillness and in solitude. This is not saying to self-isolate in an unhealthy way. This is not saying that you need to take days or weeks or months. For some of you, it can simply be a nice moment. This is all it takes, a moment of stillness. And for others of you, it's going to require deeper work. Days of stillness, maybe a vow of silence for a week or a day. Group number 2, Wood Snake wants you to continue the path ahead and expect a bit of an Alice in Wonderland experience moving forward. What you think you know is true in the context with which you know it. However, you are yet to experience things transitioning into their opposites. And so with this come new criteria, come new contexts, come new definitions. So, while you know what you know to be true, remember, infinite possibilities exist. Your idea of fate versus destiny, your idea of fate and your idea of destiny, observe them non-judgmentally, without worrying, without stressing, without getting frustrated or angry or needing the answer today. Allow yourself to simply honor the fact that all possibilities exist. Remove the confines of the way or the direction that things can move. Remove the confines of your definition of what is in control versus what is out of your control. And remain rooted in gratitude the way that you are. This is a learning curve for you. I'm being shown somebody almost taking the rug out from underneath you, but in a way where it makes everything work out for the best, because if they didn't, you wouldn't have started. You think you're going to trip and fall, but instead you catch yourself and you end up running, and you needed to hit the ground running because whatever's going to happen next is going to allow you to win the race because you started running faster. There's something like this. One thing leads into another, leads into another. So Wood Snake wants to remind you, I'm hearing you are lucky, you have feet, you can run, but don't run towards or don't run away. The things that you think you're running towards, you might run away from, and the things that you think that you should run away from, you might be running towards. But not to think too deeply over it. Everything happens the way it's supposed to in aligned timing. Find your stillness instead. Find your center instead. Remove yourself from your sense of self. Remove yourself from the things that are familiar to you and allow yourself to explore an inside out and backwards, upside down, left is right and right is left kind of world. Remember, not heliocentrism. The earth revolves around the sun, but it's not that way from our perspective. Similarly, from the perspective of spirit, looking into earth, into this physical reality, left is right and right is left. It is mirrored. Everything is inside out of what it appears to be. Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be. However, because we are conscious and everything is evolving into other things, well, there is much more foresight to be gained because there is a larger context that you are now ready to absorb. So be open to infinity. Trust that you're going to be receiving a lot of downloads that do change your daily life, and expect a big move, a big shift in your sense of self, a big shift in the life that you have. If someone, a stranger in a different part of the world you've never been before, someone you've never met, asked you about yourself and you thought about, well, I am this kind of person, these are my hobbies, this is my job, this is where I live, this is what I do, this is who I am. Those points that you might reference to about yourself, all of those are going to be shaking and shifting and moving and changing over the course of the next year. So, be open to movement and be grateful. While things are going to happen fast, they are then going to bring stillness to you. So find that stillness first. Just because the boat is rocking does not mean you will capsize. You will always end up in the right place. However, things are going to change. Allow them to. There's a big shift ahead for you, and Wood Snake wants you to keep your eyes open. And there's an element of the sun that is extra important. What do you see when you look at the sun, or when you think of the sun, when you meditate on the sun? Heliocentrism, maybe even heliocentric astrology, spiritual astrology versus material astrology. Ideas like this. But again, do not overthink, do not worry, do not fret. Your critical thinking skills have led you this far, and now it's time to release your idea of where it is you are meant to be going. Who you are and the energy you feel is correct, but the context within your perception is evolving into its opposite, or being seen inside out. This is a shakeup for you this year, but it's going to be grounded, it's going to be spiritual, and it's going to feel oh so liberating on the other side. This is your message from Wood Snake, group number 2. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out in the community a lot as well. If you're interested in any of the decks used in today's reading, I have my Follow Your Heart Oracle, my Light Codes Oracle, my Mini Oracle, and my Graphic Tarot. You can find these and a few other decks on my spiritual store, linked in the description box below, also found on Etsy at Spiritualistic. You can also find my published books and journals, prompted and unprompted, crystal jewelry that I wrap, and one-on-ones with me when they are open and available, which they are not right now, but they will be soon. As always, I love you and I'm grateful for you. If you're interested in more exclusive content, you can find it on Wednesdays on my Inner Circle channel here on YouTube, and on Thursdays on my Patreon channel, both of which are also linked in the description box. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. Feel free to check out another pile or another reading that resonates with you. I love you, and I will see you next time. Namaste. Hi there, group 3. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from Wood Snake, and you selected the third group with the Divinely Guided card. Group number 3, what I'm hearing for you, first of all, is that something is new. Something is coming into your life that is going to feel like a breath of fresh air, and it's going to be something that maybe this is something you don't know how you would manifest this, you don't know how something would work, you don't know how. I'm getting the word queasy, where if you had this responsibility or if you knew about it ahead of time, it would make you queasy, and it's a good thing that's coming in. It's something that's new, but it's kind of giving the energy of you've been maybe, as an example, very independent for a long time, and now someone comes in who cares for you, and you can release some of that. Now maybe releasing some of that control may make you feel queasy. It can be something where maybe you are very, very connected and tight-knit with a group of people in your life, and you're stepping into independence, and so that change might make you feel a little queasy. Now it's good. Whatever it is, you're going to enjoy the result. But Wood Snake wants to tell you that there are some things where you've been putting up with maybe chaos, or with crowds, or with something like mysterious, something a bit fussy, and you have maintained your security and your stability regardless of what it is that's been going on around you. Let's get into the cards here, and we'll see. Wood Snake wants you to know that you are very good at staying the course. I'm actually getting this quote from Lao Tzu. Let me pull it up for you quickly. I set down the Ancient Knowledge card here, so this just wants to come through and say hi, and I think it's appropriate since I was channeling a Lao Tzu phrase for you, and it says, to understand others is to have knowledge, to understand oneself is to be illuminated. To conquer others needs strength, to conquer oneself is harder still. To be content with what one has is to be rich. He that works through violence may get his way, but only what stays in its place can endure. This is the part I was hearing for you. When one dies, one is not lost. There is no other longevity. Really heavy on the only what stays in place can endure. So again, it's giving this, there's another Lao Tzu, very strong energy coming through for you. So some of you might read the Tao Te Ching, or you might want to, you might be into Qigong or something like this, like the I Ching. But it says the journey of 1,000 leagues began with what was under the feet is the other one that was coming through for you. So let's get into this energy. Now, Ancient Knowledge wants to come through and say hello, but let's pull your light code. Wood Snake, messages please for group number 3. Okay, you might have a fear of codependency or becoming too dependent on others. With the subconscious card here coming out, this is letting me know that you are having a time in your life where you are perhaps removing the obstacles that are self-imposed in your life, cosmic consciousness and throat activation. So this is where we have this divinely guided energy, something new coming in that is facing let's just say subconscious. It can be a limiting belief. It might even be a belief that's not so limiting, but it might not serve you anymore. So there's definitely this energy of you coming into your strength, coming into yourself, and allowing yourself not to need to seek approval from those around you, or perhaps even from this reading, but just knowing that you are fierce, you are who you are ferocious, but in a good way. Like if you want something, you know that you're determined enough to make it happen. For example, if you say you're going to do the dishes today, you get up and you do the dishes. If you say you're going to work out for 30 days straight, you're going to do 50 push-ups for a whole month, then you are going to do it. This is something like this. It's less about what you say and more about what you do. You stand on business. And so Wood Snake wants to remind you not to be too critical of yourself throughout this process, because again, we have this evolution of consciousness coming through, cosmic consciousness. This is a very high state of awareness where you are in divine union with source in consciousness. So with the throat activation, you're going to learn how to express yourself without some of the confinements that have been placed upon you, maybe by friends, by family, by peers. There was definitely this energy with that poem in the beginning too, about the way that you relate to others. It deals with a lot of strength, but in order to deal with those things in yourself, that is illumination, that's consciousness, that's growth, that's evolution, and that's where you are, group number 3. So Wood Snake kind of wants to remind you here to express yourself fully, not to hold yourself back, and to trust that when good things come into your life, be receptive to it. Definitely be receptive to it. Not that you wouldn't want to be, right? Some of you might say, well, I've been trying to manifest this. I've been working for this for a long time. It makes sense if it comes in, and if it does, I will happily receive it. But there might be some things in the way that you express yourself, the confines of what you think you are maybe allowed to say, or the words that you think you need to use, the level that you feel like you need to present yourself at in order to make other people feel more comfortable, maybe in a big way or a small way. We have unconditional love. You're being asked to show yourself the same love you show others, inside and out. Wood Snake also wants to remind you that snakes too, now this is very interesting, reptiles are also very cuddly. And group number 3, if you don't believe me, I actually have a bearded dragon. His name is Chad. Very, very beautiful creature. Is actually snuggling on my pink pillow right now. Loves pink, loves cuddling. It's the only thing I ever want to do. So there's this energy here of like, you think the snake and it's ferocious, and you have this energy that's like, it's a go-getter. You stand on business, whether it's in spirituality, whether it's in subconscious beliefs, it's in connecting to the divine, it's in doing what you're saying you're going to do, putting your money where your mouth is, you speaking, you being a leader, you showing up and showing out. And that love, that organization, you know exactly what's going on. You're ferocious. And also give yourself that love, because you too are a sweet, cuddly, beautiful creature. So there's that dynamic there that wants to come through. It's that softness that can overcome the strongest force, because it is only gentleness. I'm being shown different forms of martial arts, like Tai Chi, Qigong, but specifically Aikido, or maybe even Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where it is the gentleness. You work with the flow of what's already there. You don't exert force. You simply position yourself accordingly. It's more about the vibe and the devotion here. So Wood Snake wants you to know, group number 3, that you're going to have some changes coming in this life, but they're going to be positive. And especially over the course of the next year or so, you're going to notice some seeds being planted, or some saplings sprouting that you don't remember planting the seeds to, or again, some seeds being planted, but they might be seeds that you didn't ever think you were going to grow. You might be a citrus person, and all of a sudden you're growing flowers, and you think, well, I can't eat those. You might be meant to be getting into teas. You might open up a tea shop. So it's something like this that is coming through for you. Wood Snake wants to remind you not to be too critical of yourself or others, but to maintain that shrewdness through the way that you approach yourself. And remember as well to keep your own business to yourself and do be optimistic. I'm getting to tell you to stay reserved. Wood Snakes also want you to remember to be loyal to yourself first. This is a big message coming through. Be loyal to yourself first. You know, if meditation is something you want to do every day, you wake up and you meditate. You don't wake up and then call your friend who is calling you all night, and then they throw you into chaos, and then they come pick you up, and then you go grab lunch, and then you're out all day, and then they're crying on your shoulder, and then you go home, and then you have to clean your house because you didn't do it earlier, and then you sit down, and then it's midnight, and you're exhausted, and you're like, oh, I guess I'll meditate. Meditate first. This will give you an approach of clarity through all things. Now, it doesn't need to be such chaos and drama, and it doesn't need to be meditation specifically, but it is saying to remind yourself to be graceful and kind, but to be loyal to yourself first. Remember that it is through good deeds towards yourself that you are actually of the best service to others. The Wood Snake wants to remind you that this year, you are going to be finding an easier time being reliable to yourself and others, and to also just have a heads up that you're going to be perfecting something this year. I'm also being shown working with your hands in some way. It seems that you are very ambitious when it comes to spiritual pursuits. This year, spiritual pursuits will be ambitious in approaching you. You have been very devoted to certain structures, certain affirmations, certain fundamental beliefs and virtues and ways of expressing yourself and consciousness studies growth. You have been devoted to several different things in your life. Now these things will be devoting themselves back to you. Whether this is in love, whether this is in work, whether these are in your spiritual pursuits, whether this is in your self-expression, whether this is in positivity, I'm getting that you are the one in the group, let's just say, to lift everybody up. I'm seeing the be optimistic card. You are the positive one. Everyone around you might be kind of sad. Some of them might have a bad day. And we can all have all of the emotions. We all get happy and sad and weird and mad. And we all have good days, bad days. We all have seen sunshine and we all have seen rain for the most part. But you would be the one here that is always the picker-upper. And you are like this because you give this to yourself. You show up for yourself and it allows you to show up for others. It is that stillness, that non-moving energy that allows you to succeed in your life. Not non-moving meaning necessarily stubborn, but it is saying that you are not trying to divide and conquer. Rather, you are simply trying to stand still, devoted, calm, graceful, gentle. This is going to be where something new comes in that's positive again, and this would be akin to now the people in your life that you've been uplifting, well, they uplift and support you in return. That thing or that person or those finances or that job or that goal that you've been chasing, it's going to start chasing you. This is a very receptive energy. However, those things that you might be nervous about, for example, learning how to ride a bike, well, you feel supported because someone's holding on to you, but then you look back and realize you're doing it all on your own. Maybe you're used to doing something all by yourself, and you might be nervous about letting other people in on it. This will be what's coming in, but either way, it will be growth. It will be devoted to you, and you are being advised to also be devoted to you. But in the way that you express, you're going to find different forms of expression here that are going to be more refined, more graceful, more gentle, and more in alignment with your true spirit. There's something here about speaking louder so that you feel more heard, or humbling yourself so that you are more respectful of your surroundings. Now, this is not to say to be boastful or arrogant or very soft-spoken when you feel like you're not being heard. Rather, this is to let your authentic voice shine even more strongly, regardless of the environment that you're in. You are even more unmoving, regardless of the surrounding that you're in. And especially for, let's say, the spiritual person, for the sensitive person, for the empath perhaps, the energetic reader, you have learned the lesson of being muddied up of understanding what is yours and what is not yours. You've learned the lesson of allowing yourself to observe if you choose to observe, absorb if you choose to absorb, but this being a choice first and foremost, rather than it being something that happens to you. Wood Snake wants you to know, group number 3, that this is the year that you are not affected by your surroundings, you affect your surroundings. And this is something you've learned before, but this is the time in your life where this becomes law. It's tried and true. And because of this, certain things are going to take shape and change shape. Continue to have this love for yourself. And again, you're going to find that you might have very vivid dreams, very deep, maybe phenomena in your meditation and your spiritual practice. You're going to find that some of these spiritual things, these subconscious things, take more of a forefront in your life. Allow these things to permeate not just your subconscious, but into your consciousness, your actual consciousness, and your life. Because you're going to find that you are much more evolved and conscious than you think. And this is the year when you bridge the gap between that higher self of yours and who you are. Who you are when your eyes are closed, or you are fully embodying spirit and all of those spiritual energies, and who you are when you're trying to express all of those things, and who you are pertaining to that in whatever room you're in. This is that year where you really pop off. So, messages from Wood Snake to group number 3. I'm hearing stay the course. 6 of Swords in reverse. Okay. Stay the course. The course will bring you there. Okay, interesting. I'm being shown on the 6 of Swords card. This can indicate somebody who is being brought into shore. Their ship is taking them into the shore, anchoring onto solid ground. But in reverse, this message, especially with this energy here, it's showing me that you're on a river. Let the river take you to your destination. Don't try to find your destination and maneuver with the river. Let the river maneuver you, but do stay the course. 8 of Wands. There's definitely this big energy of expressing yourself. Some of those subconscious beliefs, some of the spiritual gifts and tools that you have as well, that others might not know that you have, or you might not necessarily feel it's your place to say or express or experience certain things. That's coming up for some reason again. Wood Snake wants you to devote yourself to yourself and to be very positive and optimistic when it comes to your future. Wood Snake wants you to know that you have a very abundant, very healthy, very happy future ahead for you, despite of what you've been in your past. And also, the final message here for you is that you are standing into your power. You think you know what your power feels like, but this is the time where you are propelled into a sense of power that you haven't even really fully recognized yet. You've recognized that you are in power. You've recognized what your power feels like, but the sheer quantity and strength of that power is still not something that you have really actually understood yet. And you might think that you have. You might understand it conceptually. You might have been there spiritually, but there is so much more than meets the eye. Even in your brightest moment, even in your strongest center, this is still just the tip of the iceberg. And so Wood Snake wants to let you know to continue to devote yourself to yourself. This is going to be a year where you find yourself becoming a little bit more selfish, but that this is the most humanitarian and spiritual thing that you can do. Wood Snake would like for you to know, group number 3, that you might feel that many things are changing and that you're headed in perhaps an unknown direction. Follow the breeze that feels the best, and trust that by a series of joyous events, you will be led to a new beginning that has you written all over it. And you're going to find your permanent place in life in a particular area, whether this is a person, it's a job, it's a location, it's an energy, it's a state of consciousness. You're going to find that permanent home. You're going to be moving in. And don't worry, I'm hearing everything will fit through the door. Wood Snake wants to remind you to stay the course and allow the river to do the rest. You might think that you're being pushed into unknown destinations, and this is partially true. Be aware that you are meant to stay the course, but Release your idea of the destination, because the skills that you learn, navigating the river, being one with the flow of the water, being one with the flow of the wind, will place you in the most accurate destination, one that's not even on the map, because only the water and the wind know where it is, and things in friction to it, even a little bit, are not going to be able to come across it. Let the water show you where the water goes. Let the wind show you where the wind goes. And Wood Snake is saying that just like there are many holes that snakes can bury themselves in, these little burrows, these are only known to the snakes, but snakes are able to sense them because that's who they are. There are areas of this life, there are things that are meant only for you. So, because of this, you can sense them, you can feel them, you have a map, you are headed in about the right way. In fact, you are headed in the right way. This next journey for you, it is going to be one that actually your internal world is reflected externally through you. Close your eyes to the material and allow yourself to fully express. Although it didn't matter what was in front of you. This is your first lesson for this upcoming year. And Wood Snake wants to remind you, love yourself first, because that is true mastery. The journey of 1,000 leagues began with what was under the feet, and only what stays in its place can truly endure. To conquer others needs strength, but to conquer oneself is harder still. To love others is to be kind. To love oneself is to know spirit, to know God, to know source. So, group number 3, this is your channeled message from Wood Snake. I hope this shed love, light, and clarity for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, it helps the community out a lot, and it's a great way to pay it forward. If you're interested in any of the decks used in today's reading, you can find those on my Etsy store at Spiritualistic. This is linked in the description box below. This is my Follow Your Heart Oracle, my Light Codes Oracle, my Mini Oracle, and my Graphic Tarot. I do have other decks, my published books, and journals that are prompted and unprompted on my store as well. You can also find one-on-ones with me when they are open. Right now they're closed, but they'll be opening up over the course of the next month or so keep an eye out for that. If you're interested in exclusive content, you can find my Inner Circle channel here on YouTube, where I post every Wednesday, and my Patreon, where I post every Thursday, also linked in the description box for both of those. You can find me on Instagram, on TikTok, on Xiaohongshu, and as always, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. I love you, and I'm grateful for you. Feel free to check out another pile in this reading or any other, and I will see you next time. Namaste.